What's up, Suumo Nation? This is Jay here, and today we're going to run through how to set up a Shopify online store. So if you've never seen Shopify or you've never used it, this is your lucky day, because we're going to run through exactly why you should use it and how you can use it and how you can get set up with it. So why should you use Shopify? So Shopify is one of the best online platforms out there right now. It covers everything you need to do to set up an online shop. It covers a website builder, you get your payment processing, it has email built in, and there's a whole bunch of other apps that you can use to plug into your system to make sure that it runs even more efficiently, like upsells and email marketing templates and promotions. And there's a really great thing called Sales Pop, which I'm going to run through later on and show you as well, which is really cool. It's for social proof. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the Shopify website. There's a link in the description below to go and get to the site. But what you're going to want to do is come over here and go to free trial. So you're going to start a free trial. This is good because you get 3 months free trial. With this, you get a 90-day free trial. So let's go ahead and sign up. I'm going to blank out. So let's go ahead and sign up and create your store. So you get 90 days for free with the link in the description below. And we're going to go ahead and save all of that. That's great. So while it's building the store, the first thing we're going to want to do is come in and choose a theme. So your store is ready to go. Just waiting on that for loading there. Okay, great. So we're going to want to come in and choose one of the themes, but already it's going to ask us some questions just so that it knows a little bit more about what we're doing. So where are you at? I'm just playing around. No, I don't need any of those help because I have all of that. So far we're just getting started, and this is going to be in you have to choose your industry, but I don't think this is really relevant, so it's not really. I'm developing a site for myself or a client. In this case, we're developing it for ourselves, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's click next and go ahead. This is just all marketing stuff for Shopify so that they know what kind of customers they're dealing with. Okay, so this is the main part where you're going to put in your name, address, and your details. So in this case, we're going to put in the name of the company, which you don't need to, but actually we're going to skip that because right now it's not a company, and they'll probably check to see if it's a real company. Okay, so while that runs and sets up, we're going to go for, the first thing we're going to go for is to do our theme, if it will let us. So there's some tax information we're going to need to put in there. All of that's going to be down here in your settings afterwards. We can go through that later if we like. But let's customize a theme and choose a theme. So there's a whole bunch of different themes that we can choose from. And okay, let's check out the theme library, explore the free themes. So Shopify has a whole bunch of different themes that aren't free, but right now we're just going to go with one of the free ones because we've got a 90-day free trial. And this is basically how you can set up for free. So right now, what it's asking me is there's 3 different types of themes under this theme, simple. We just want a simple theme for now. So there's the toy theme, there's the light theme, and there's the beauty theme. I think considering what we want to do today with Lulububs, we're probably going to go with the toy theme. That looks quite nice. Okay. So now we're back into we've chosen our theme. What we're going to want to do is customize that a little bit. Okay, so if you've ever used WordPress or anything like that, Shopify is very similar to that. So you've got your header here, you can change the things up here. So this is going to be things like your margins and your main menu. So your logo. So we can go ahead and select a logo here. We can upload an image. So if we go to our own area here, so Hulu Bubs. I've already prepared a logo, which we're going to pop in there. So if you haven't, a really great place to start for a logo is fiverr.com. It's got a little bit more expensive these days, but you could probably still pick up a logo for $5. So here we have now Hulu Bubs. That's looking pretty good. I like that. It's automatically gone and saved that, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to select that. Okay. Now we can select the size of the logo as well. So you can make it bigger or smaller. And we're going to just go ahead and leave it where it was. But just know that if you want to, you can. This is where you're going to edit your main menu as well. So one of the things I like to do when I start a Shopify page is I like to customize the main menu. So what we're going to want to do is create a page first. So before we do the navigation, we're going to create an About Us page. So let's create a new page. So this is exactly like WordPress in that sense. You have pages and you have posts. Pages are essentially things that they're a one-time thing, they stay there. And a post is more like a blog thing. You post fairly regularly, once a week or something. So we're going to go in ahead and put in our About Us page. So this doesn't need to be incredibly difficult, but it's mostly for branding purposes, really, to tell people about what your company is about. So here we're going to put in Hulu Bubs is a personalized American or UK, whichever, it doesn't matter. But Hulu Bubs is a personalized pictures. It's a personalized canvas site, canvas shop, canvas t-shirt and canvas t-shirt and mug shop with your baby on the product. In here you're going to want to put stuff like this is why we do it, this is what it means to us, what our mission is about. This is really where you can connect with your audience and say, this is what we're about. You're going to make sure that the page is going to be visible and it's not going to be hidden, because you can do that. You can make sure that you have to be logged in order to see this page. Then what we're going to do is come down to the navigation, and we're going to change this. Menu here. So we don't need that menu there. So we're going to get rid of that footer menu. And yeah. So when we're going to come back to that, there's going to be nothing in our footer menu. But what we're going to do now is, one thing I like to do as well is change it from catalog to products. So I don't know why, but catalog doesn't really sit well with me. So let's change it to products. Then what we're going to want to do here is, this is the name of your page. So this is going to be About Us. So this is what's going to actually appear in the text, and this is where it's going to go. So we're going to go into pages, then we're going to go into About. That's simple. That's one of the reasons why I like using Shopify, because it's very similar to using WordPress, and there's not a huge learning curve there. And you can probably create a contact page as well. There's some apps for that as well. So then what we're going to want to do, now we've got a logo in place, and we've also got our About Us page, and we've managed to change our navigation. So that's going to be the main menu, and that's going to change like that. So we could probably come in here now and preview our online store. So so visit this theme store. Preview. So this is what our store is going to look like once we have everything set up. So right now we have this grid section here. I like to have the grid section. Sometimes they have different various layouts. This is called a grid section. We'll go into that in a sec. You can add an image here. This is a call to action. Probably going to get rid of that in a sec. We'll show you how in a sec. And this is also irrelevant too. We're probably not going to need this right now, but we might want to keep in the customer quotes because that makes people happy. Cool, so that's our menu. Our menu's all set up there. Right, so now what we're going to come in to do is we're going to check out some apps. So one that I recommend, a really good app that I recommend. Now this isn't a tutorial specifically on dropshipping. I can do one if you guys like on dropshipping at some point, but there's a really great bunch of apps for Shopify that allows you to do dropshipping, and I'll run through a video on that later at some point. But right now, one of the best ones I want to cover with you is an app called SalesPop. So SalesPop is a really cool app that pretty much it shows people, it's what we call social proof. So it shows people when somebody buys on your website. If somebody buys on your website, they will say, "Hey, John from New York just bought your product." So there we go, SalesPop social proof. And this one is free. You'll find most of these are going to be paid for. Some of these are going to be, even if they say free trial, a lot of them will say free trial and you'll have to pay at the end of the month anyway. So Shopify is going to want to take your credit card details, and it's going to go ahead and charge you at the end of the month if the trial runs out. So we're going to just use this one because it's free. So Hulu Bubs now has SalesPops. So what that means is now when somebody comes and buys a product from Hulu Bubs, you will instantly see on the page, "Hey, John from Wyoming," or from wherever else in the world John is, they bought our product. Great. So this is the SalesPop dashboard. We can go ahead and set this up later at some point, but to be fair, that looks like it's all good. Great. So let's go back to Shopify. We've now set that up, and that's now on our store. So the next thing I want to talk about is adding a domain. So if you have your own custom domain, you can do that. So Shopify has given you a domain already. So when you signed up for Hulu Bubs, you've got hulububs.myshopify.com. But we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do, Shopify gives you two options. You get the option to buy a domain from Shopify, and that tends to be a little bit more expensive. They tend to be about $15-20. But one thing I usually do is I like to go to name.com and then connect my existing one. So this morning I bought hulububs.com. From name.com it cost me about $7. So you can halve your price when using that as well. And then what you're going to want to do is view the instructions. So when you click on this, it's going to take you to this page here. And this is how to set up your domain name with Shopify. The main thing you're going to want to do is copy this link here. There's two links that you're going to want to set up. That's an A record, and you're going to want to set up a C name. Let's talk about the A record first right now. So the A record is going to take, when anybody types in your domain name without www, it's going to go straight to this Shopify account. So let's go into my name.com account. That's my client. So let's go into our name.com. We're going to have to do this captcha here. Okay. And once we're into name.com, you're going to see this thing called name servers. Now you don't need to edit the name servers right away. What we're going to do is customize the DNS records. If you've bought it with name.com, then this is how it will look. If you bought it with GoDaddy or somebody else, they use things called zones. It means exactly the same thing, it just means records. So we're going to come in and input a record here now. So this is the A name. So there's a few different types of records we can put in, but this one is going to be an A name. So the @ symbol, just like the page suggests, the @ symbol suggests that anything that doesn't have the www dot. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put this in here with the @ symbol, and so that is going to give us a no www dot link to our Shopify. So we've copied and pasted that IP address in there, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to take the CNAME. So the CNAME is the same for everybody. In this case, it's shops.myshopify.com. So Shopify has some magic that it will do. It will take your domain name and it will redirect to your specific shop from www. So let's go back over to name.com. Let's choose our CNAME. Then we're going to put www because it's going to be www.lulububs.com. Then we're going to put the answer in as shops.myshopify.com. Okay, so now that's added. In name.com you don't have to save anything or anything like that, so we're going to come back over to adding a domain, and you're going to want to verify that connection. Sometimes it can take a little while. So it's noticed that I haven't put www in there. It says the www CNAME is empty. So what happened here? Maybe it's just taken a couple of seconds to update. So that seems to be correct. So what I'll do is wait a couple minutes and I will update you if that changes. Okay, so it seems that's not changed, but what I will do is, usually you have to wait up to 24 hours. Sometimes it doesn't really take 24 hours, but they say wait up to 24 hours. That's going to update in its own time. But once that is connected, then Shopify the next thing I wanted to go through is changing the homepage. So what we're going to do is the title needs to say what we need it to say. So we come in here, and down here in your preferences, we can change things like your site title. So right now this site doesn't have a title. So what we're going to put in is Hulububs. Okay, and then we're going to put a brief description in. So this is what's going to happen in your SEO. So when somebody Googles Lulububs or personalized baby pictures on t-shirts or something, this is what they're going to get. So this is how you're going to rank for Google. And then if you have Google Analytics, you can put that in there. In my previous video, I showed you how to get Google Analytics onto your website. So what you're going to want to do is copy that same code from the previous video. I'll link that in the description. Copy that same code and put that in there. And also, if you have a Facebook pixel, if you're running ads to the site, which you're probably going to want to do at some point, then the Facebook pixel is it's just going to track where your ads go and how they land on your site. So that's a really good one to set up, is having a Facebook pixel in there. And then this is if some of your pages need password protection, you can do that. You can this is actually a paid plan at this point, so we have to go ahead and put our credit card details in order to do that. And at this point, I want you guys to bear in mind that because we haven't put our credit card details in, this is still a sandbox site. So once you go ahead and put your credit card details in there, it will then become when you select a plan and put your credit card details in there, it will then be a public website. So that's pretty much all we're going to cover for today. But I hope you guys learned a lot from this. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with your friends if you think they will benefit from it. But thanks very much, Suumo Nation. I appreciate you tuning in for another episode, and next week we're going to have a really great video. Cool. Awesome, guys. Thanks very much, and see you in the next one.